Hello and a very good morning to Dr. Hofu Hao. My name is Muhammad Shafiq bin Saleh. Now I am presenting the introduction for the project. So now we consist of 5 students, which is me, Muhammad Shafiq bin Saleh, and my friend Arba'in Fitri bin Nordin, Muhammad Rizwan Shah bin Ibrahim, Muhammad Amirul Daniel bin Ganish, and Muhammad Farhan bin Zulkifli. Okay, my part is introduction. Now we are going to the introduction. For this task, we are required to identify and select a machine that available in UTHM Mechanical and Manufacturing Laboratory. So, by drafting a comprehensive operational handbooks, we are about to select one machine, and must include 3 minimum operational process. So we are going to do folding machine, CNC press brake, that's located in UTHM FTK JTKM Fabrication Laboratory. So we already contact to Puan Dalila binti Muhammad Harun, the person who in charge the machine, so we can get the information more. This machine is used for bending sheets and plate material, most commonly sheet metal. It forms predetermined bends by clamping the workpiece between a matching punch and die. So CNC press brake is a sheet metal brakes widespreads used in manufacturing machine shop across the country.
Hi, my name is Arba'in Fitri, CED 190040. In this video, I will tell about the design, flowchart, and algorithm. This design is a multiple sequence bend design that requires several processes. When to produce this design, first, we need to identify the type of material and the thickness of the material. Type of material and the thickness is important to determine the appropriate load to be used. For this design, the multi-V die with standard punch and swinging die with spring type was chosen because it has a suitability to form the required shape. 3 processes need to be done. The first process is 180-degree bending, or it called crush down. Second process is 90-degree bending, or bottoming technique. And the third process is calendar bending, to make a curve at the metal sheet. Flowchart for this machine is, first, we need to reboot and reset the machine to default. Next, identify the type of the material. Then, we have to refer the press brake force chart and recommended V opening wide. We need to introduce the information to the machine about the material. Then we choose and install the suitable punch and die according to the function and the process need. Then we have to enter the dimension of the metal sheet. We need to place the metal sheet at the machine and then press the foot switch to start the fold. Folding the metal sheet is required shape. Take the metal sheet from the machine, and then the last process, we need to turn off the machine. If we want to do the next shape, we need to place the metal sheet into the suitable position and adjust the dimension required. And then, you place the metal sheet at the machine, and so on. The algorithm, step 1, we need to reboot and reset the machine to default. Step 2, identify the type of metal. Step 3, refer the press brake force chart and recommended V opening wide of bottom die to know the necessary turn and opening bending angle. Step 4, we need to introduce the information to the machine about the material used, such as material, thickness, length, bending angle, die, internal radius, minimum necessary length of rest of the sheet before the bend, and the bending force. Step 5, we need to choose the suitable punch and die according to the function and the process need. Step 6, install the die and punch at the machine. Step 7, enter the type of bending and process required. Step 8. Enter the dimension of the fault at E21 controller. Step 9. Place the metal at the die and punch. Step 10. Press the foot switch to operate the machine. Step 11. Move the material and appropriate for bending. Step 12. Take out the finished material from the machine. And the last, step 13. Reset the machine to default.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Okay, my name is Muhammad Rizwan Shah bin Ibrahim. My matric card number is CD109982. Today I want to present our main topic is folding machine CNC press brake. Okay, for the introduction of operational handbook, press brake are utilized in the forming line of sheet metal component. A press brake is vital necessary to most shop with shape cutting capability and is the one most misunderstood machine available for sheet metal working. The press brake may be fitted with a wide variety of standard and custom tooling that are used to press material into the desired form. Okay, for the control, a press brake, like any machine tool, can benefit greatly from computerization of the axis of motion. We know that the today there are press brake are available in market with 12 or more programmable axis for precision metal forming. A CNC controller can be misunderstood in press brake application. The majority of controllable axes are found in the back gauge, which employ typically 2 or more fingers, which act as material stop and support, which allow for accurate gauging of links. Okay, there are two types of operational process. There are two types only. First type is the most common, is bottom bending, and the second one is air bending. Okay, for the bottom bending, is the simple operation of the tool of punch mount in the ram. Press brake force the workpiece down the bottom of the die mount on the bed of the press brakes. And number 2 is the air bending. Air bending is the simply pressing the material down into the die like this. This one, they press. Okay. After applying 85-degree angle, only far enough to achieve the desired angle, plus any spring that the material might have once punched retreat. Okay, there are several advantages of air bending. Disadvantage is bending is the angle accuracy is greatly affected by the material thickness. If the small thickness, there probably a problem, and the ram depth will have the adjust as material thickness change from millimeter run of sheet stock. Okay. The calculation is for in number 3 is calculation. The calculation machine has been what used in various industry, and the fabricant scope of bending machine is also expanding day by day. Moreover, the calculation of bending force has not been systematically introduced before. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I am Muhammad Amruddin bin Ganesh. My matrix number is AD190035, and today I will be explaining the part of C++ coding in our group presentation. So, on our first slide here, we got our first process coding for our CNC press brake machine, or also known as bending machine. So our first process is we are using the 90-degree bending. So this is the coding. And on to the next slide. Here are the second part of our coding, or we could say that it is our second process of this coding. And on the second process of our coding, we are using another type of process, which is 180-degree bending, or known as crush down bending. So there are three types of process we all decided to do, which is on our first slide is 90-degree bending, second is 180-degree bending, or known as crush down, and lastly we have calendar bending. So this is our last part of process, or our last part of coding for our report, and all of this coding are used to determine the bending force value. So as you can see, we can obtain the bending force value when we run the coding by entering the value of thickness, length, and we need to calculate our V so that we can find our bending force value. So that's all for my part of C++ coding presentation. Thank you.
In conclusion, this group project is to create a comprehensive C program that complete the machine book operation handbook on a machine that available in the UTHM Mechanical and Manufacturing Lab. This group project can be concluded based on the C program result, which are C program of machine hydraulic press brake machine is created, and the second one is the handbook of the machine hydraulic press brake machine is constructed. Therefore, the task for this group is obtained with flying colors. However, this study can be continued in a future study using another machine to develop skill for UTHM students in creating a C program. Next one is the limitation and ways to overcome the problem of the studies. The limitation or problem is influenced by the study scope, which take into account where times, experience, and sources are faced by the UTHM student to achieve the purpose of the studies. Folding machine or CNC press brake is chosen at the first place for this study, but unfortunately, we never had the experience to use the machine. However, the solution for this problem is searching through the internet and YouTube platform to visualize how the machine works. Moreover, the data itself is limited because the machine must be used from the UTHM lab, where it is required to contact the PIC, which is the person in charge of the machine, to get the data. The data which are handbook, basic info, technical data, formula and equation, and last but not least is the parameter of the machine. Due to the COVID-19, PIC take 1 week to get the data, but unfortunately could not go into the UTHM because the limitation workers work at the campus. Thus, the only source that reliable is through the internet. Finally, we choose the WC67K 160T per 3200 hydraulic press brake because the data has been found in internet to be used for these studies.